With Terravion, you can use various layers of our imagery to ensure that you optimize irrigation delivery to your grapes, resulting in higher grape quality across your vineyards. You can also use our imagery to identify irrigation leaks in your vineyards early enough to make an effective correction to prevent excess vine vigor. Excess vine vigor diminishes grape quality and thus adversely affects profit. In this image, you see a vineyard with uneven vigor zones. You can see the low vigor zones here and the high vigor zones here. Uneven field vigor can result from suboptimal irrigation deliveries. You can use Terravion's NDVI imagery to identify specific irrigation zones, enabling differential irrigation to particular areas to ensure appropriate irrigation applications in each part of your vineyard. In this case, it's likely that the low vigor zones are not receiving enough water, while the high vigor zones are receiving too much water. If this holds true upon visual inspection, the grower should direct more irrigation towards the areas of low vigor while cutting back the irrigation to the high vigor areas. Terravion's cadence of repeated imagery throughout the season can help you hone in on uniform irrigation during the current season. You can also use our imagery to identify irrigation leaks in your vineyards early enough to make an effective correction to prevent excess vine vigor. In this natural color image, you can see a suspicious dark area in the southwest side of the field here. On its own, this irregularity may not be cause for concern, but if we look at the thermal imagery from the same date, we can see there's more to the story than what you see in the natural color image. The thermal imagery shows that there are two cold spots in this part of the field. One where we notice something in the natural color layer, and a bigger one here that only reveals itself in the thermal layer. Cold spots like this often indicate excessive irrigation in the form of a leak or inappropriate irrigation delivery. If we look at the NDVI image on this date, you can see that while there is a slight spike in vigor, it's nothing too out of the ordinary to be concerned with on its own. This is because the irrigation leak hasn't resulted in excessive vine vigor quite yet. However, at this point, there is already more than enough evidence to warrant an in-person investigation into this particular area. Let's look at how this leak would develop in the weeks to follow if not corrected. If we look at the images from the next flight cycle, you can see that the irrigation leak becomes more clear in the natural color layer and alarmingly obvious in the thermal layer. If we look at the NDVI image for this week, you can see that the results of the leak in terms of vine vigor only become slightly more noticeable. However, during the following weeks, the irrigation leak in this area starts to result in excessive vine vigor, and you can see that here. By this point, the damage has likely already been done, and the excessive vine vigor has diminished the grape quality, which would have adversely affected the profit on these grapes. Learn to use Terravion's thermal imagery along with our other layered imagery to identify irrigation leaks early enough to make an effective correction. This is how you can use Terravion's layered imagery to identify irrigation leaks in your vineyards and to ensure that you optimize irrigation delivery to your grapes, resulting in higher grape quality across your vineyards and a higher profit. Thank you for watching this video, and please visit Terravion.com for more videos like this.